Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome all to my channel. I am Raziaq Ali. Today let us see about consideration under Indian Contract Act. Section 2D of the Indian Contract Act defines what is meant by consideration. It says that when at the desire of the promisor, the promisee or any other person has done or abstained from doing or does or abstains from doing or promises to do or abstain from doing something, such act, subsistence, or promise is called consideration for the promise. So the act says that as per the desire of the promiser, so supposing there is a A, he is making a promise to pay some amount. So as per the desire of the promiser, the promisee means the opposite party or any other person has done or abstained. So he did he act or he avoided to do any particular act or does or abstains from doing a particular act or promises to do or abstain from doing something, such act or subsistence or promises is called consideration to us. So as far as the Indian contract is concerned, a consideration can be present, past or future. So suppose a person has done some job to another for which the particular person has promises to pay some remuneration. So here the job was already done, so it's a past one. Suppose he was doing something today and for which the one person promises to pay some amount, so the consideration is present. Sometimes suppose a contractor is agreeing to do something in future for which he is promises to pay some amount. Here the consideration is future. So as per as the act is consideration is concerned, under the Indian Contract Act, it can be present, future, or past or present or future. So next one is section 25 of the act says that agreement without consideration is void. So for every agreement there must be consideration. Supposing an agreement is made without any consideration, then such type of agreement is called void. Supposing a political party approaches you and you give a promise that you are agreeing to give a donation of 2 lakhs rupees to the birthday of the leader and you fail to pay the amount, whether they can file a case against you to pay the amount, here there is no consideration. You are promising to pay some amount for which he is not giving any consideration to you. So when there is no consideration, when there must be, when as far as the contract is concerned, there must be two parties, A or B. So he has to give one consideration to B, B has to give consideration to A, then only there will be a contract. When you are going to hotel, we are getting a food. It is a consideration we receive, which is paid, which is consideration given by the hotel owner. Now for which we are giving the price. So this is a consideration paid by the customer to the hotel. So there must be consideration from both the parties, then only it is without that, if there is a agreement is there without consideration, such agreement is void. So there are exceptions. The law stipulates that same section 25 says that an agreement without consideration is void unless it is in writing and registered, or is a promise to compensate for something done, or is a promise to pay time bought by limitation. So the act says 3 exceptions to this general rule. The general rule is consideration without agreement is void. Exceptions are: number 1, an agreement made in writing and registered. Supposing A settle a property to his daughter, here A gives the property to the daughter. So suppose after 3 years whether the father can challenge the settlement saying that I have not received any consideration as per the Indian contracted agreement without consideration is invalid. Can he challenge like that? No, because the exception is said when agreement is made in writing and registered, there need not be consideration. The second one is a promise to compensate for something done. Supposing an act was done by one particular person for which the another person promises to give a compensation. Supposing a person has done a job in my house, or he has rendered some service for which I have not paid that time. So now I'm making a promise. I am ready to. I will compensate you. I will pay this money as a compensation to your service. So such here, though there is no consideration to this promise, it's an exception to this rule. So a promise given as a to compensate for something done is valid. It cannot be struck down on the ground that there is no consideration. The third one is the promise to pay the time bar debt. So when a promissory, supposing A received a loan from a bank and made a compromise, made a promissory note, then the promissory note is valid for 3 years. So within 3 years, he has to file a case. Bank has to file a case. If the 3 years has gone, the bank if bank files a case, then such case is not maintainable and it will be struck down on the ground that it's a time barred by limitation. Such is barred by limitation. So in such circumstances, after 3 years or after 5 years, gave a promise that agreeing to pay that time bar debt. Then bank files a case on the basis of the subsequent letter or note. The borrower cannot say that this is a loan borrowed 3 years back, it is time bar. Like cannot say, because as per this rule, he cannot simply say that there is no consideration to this subsequent letter or subsequent promissory note, because this is an exception to the under section 25 of the Indian Contract Act. So such kind of letter or promise agreeing to pay the time bar debt is valid, even if there is no consideration, specific consideration to this subsequent letter or promise note. So second one is that regarding the consideration is concerned, it can be past, present, or future. Also, consider a promise to pay something for the act already done, or for the act being done today, or the promise to do some a consideration payable to the promise to do some act is valid. So as far as the consideration is concerned, it can be past, present, or future. And one more thing is consideration need not be given by a specific particular person. Suppose A engage a teacher and pays a tuition fees, and A goes abroad. Now the teacher refused to take a tuition, and his son files a case. Whether the tuition teacher to tell the teacher is telling that no, the amount is paid by your father. The dealings between me and my father. You ask my father to come and talk to me. I am responsible only to your father, not to you. He cannot say like that, because the Indian contract says that there is no privity of consideration. So consideration can be paid directly by the concerned party, or it can be given by some other party. Then the another thing is adequacy of the consideration. Consideration need not be equal. Supposing A has a second-hand car, it is valued about 5 lakhs. He offered B comes to purchase a car for a sum of rupees 1 lakh rupees. Later, his friends are telling that you have the value of the car will fetch of 5 lakhs rupees, and you can sell it to another person for a good amount. So now, when a held contract is completed between for sum of rupees 1 lakh, he cannot challenge the court of law saying that there is no the consideration is not adequate. It is not proper. So as far as the consideration is concerned, it is free. Parties has to fix. He can fix it big amount or smaller amount, or reasonable amount. So as far as once the party has fixed the consideration, he cannot later challenge the court of law saying that there is no the consideration inadequate or it is not equal to the equal. Like that, he cannot file a case. And another thing is that contract made abstaining a person from filing a suit is also is invalid. It is also struck down. Not it is also not valid in law. So these are all the things which we have seen in today about consideration. I hope it will this video will be helpful to the students who are watching these videos. I request you to watch my channels. We have Raziaq, 2 channels, Raziaq LawTube, which is in English, Raziaq Sattam Arivom is Tamil. You may share these videos with your friends, and you may also subscribe my channel, and you may also give your comment, register your comments, which will be helpful to me to improve my videos. Thank you. Goodbye.